What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. I'm your host, Tony Scorpio, with my co-host, Deception the Rapper. Deception, say hi.
What's up?
This is episode number 37. Holy crap.
Yeah,
We just keep rolling.
yeah.
We're rolling.
It's been a minute.
So we've got a couple things to talk about, I think, during this episode. I don't know what Deception wants to talk about, but I have a couple things that I
Okay.
have seen. Hi Munchkin, how you doing? Yeah, so well, I guess we can just pick up right where we were talking about before we hit the record button. So DMZ, like, you guys said you've been having quite a bit of fun on it. Like, what's your overall? Because I never really couldn't give much of a opinion on it last podcast.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of it? What's going on?
I've had a lot more time to play DMZ now. Since since the last time we had a podcast, which was 2 weeks ago, right after, everything dropped. But
Yeah, and then we had a break for
um
Thanksgiving.
yeah, I've had a lot of time to play everything about season 1 since then. And like I can definitely tell you that probably the most surprising thing is how much fun I've had on DMZ. Is like I've played quite a bit of DMZ since then. Like I would say that outside of grinding pubs, I've probably played about as much DMZ as I played of Warzone. Which I
Okay.
didn't think was going to be the case. I thought it was going to be mostly me playing Warzone, and I would dip my toes into DMZ every now and then. But me and my friends have had a lot of fun playing DMZ. Um, and I just obviously I still have the opinion of I think if this when this gets a in game and out of game economy rather than it just being like, oh, your money gets turned into XP. Um it'll be a lot more fun. But like doing the challenges and just going in and getting loot, like having that feeling of playing a game where you go in and loot up, and then maybe the next game you go in and try to really fight people and stuff is really fun because um it does it's really nice to have a whole bunch of different ways to play the game. Because there are definitely people who prefer just going in and smoking people and all that, but you can also because you can exfil whenever you want in DMZ, you can just go in and grab a little bit of loot, whatever you need, and go and just leave without ever killing anybody except maybe a few AI. Like, um, and I think that's what's a lot of people are finding that's fun about DMZ is it doesn't have to be played in the same way as Warzone,
Kind of has like
but
its
it can
own,
be.
has like its kind of like own feel to it. Oh, sorry, I
It's
accidentally
really,
spoke.
yeah. It's I think a lot of people are saying the one phrase that I've heard so many times out of people in the past 2 weeks since DMZ dropped is that it's a breath of fresh air, and that's true. COD has never really had a mode like this, but I think this mode is. If there was one feature that I could tell you that encapsulated what they're trying to do with this whole COD 2.0 thing, it's probably DMZ because it's so different, but it still feels like COD at the same time.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, um, so currently, sorry, not to like change subject, but currently, it is snowing like crazy here in upstate New York, and
Dude, I want it to snow low key.
does it snow in? Does it snow there?
Yeah, they're the weather here is wild. I can experience every of the 4 seasons in 1 week.
Well,
It,
it's so south that I just don't.
it's not that south. I don't. It's not like I
Deception
live
just
in
said the
like.
same thing. You guys just said
It's
the
not like
same
I.
answer.
It's not like I live in like Florida. It's
Well, I
still
know.
technically south, but it's like it's kind of like if you're looking at the absolute south versus the absolute north, Virginia's basically in the middle. It's more south than north because
Well,
of.
I know where Virginia is, right? Like I know where it's at. If
No,
I
I'm
compare it
telling
to
you,
the equator, it's no. The equator doesn't matter.
I'm telling you, if
Deception, can you
I'm
hear Riss yelling at me?
yeah. No,
Just want to
like
make sure.
when I tell you that we can experience all 4 seasons in 1 week, I'm not kidding. In 1 week here, we can go from like
What?
almost 80 degrees in December to like 4 days later, it's like snowing. Like I'm not kidding, that happens.
That happens here in New York too. It was literally
There have
so
been like a
nice.
couple days where it's like that's the weird thing is like it can be super nice and sunny and actually warm for like a late fall, early winter. And then like a couple days later it's like there's a blizzard coming.
Um, yeah, I get that though, Deception, because New York goes through like 4 seasons in one day. When I was in
Yeah,
high
it's so
school,
weird.
when I was in high school, I'd wear sweatpants, but underneath the sweatpants, I'd wear a pair of shorts, and then I'd wear a t-shirt, and then a hoodie, and then bring a coat. And then as the day went on,
You're just
I just
constant
like took clothes off.
you're just constantly adding or removing layers. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, now I just come home and change.
That's funny.
And then when I was working over the summer too, like even in the summertime, over the summer I would like keep sweatpants and a hoodie in my car, even if I was wearing like shorts and a t-shirt, so that
Oh yeah,
just in
like
case
it can
it
get
got
cold really
cold.
fast. There's been a couple times in my lifetime where it's been like April and it snowed, and I was like, "What?"
It's just weird. Climate change is a real thing, and we're seeing the effects of it daily.
I don't know. Like I'm kind of excited for the first snow. The first snow is always exciting, and it hasn't snowed yet here. Usually, it has by now. It has snowed at least once, so I have a feeling it's either not going to snow that much over this like winter, and it's going to be kind of peaceful, or we're going to get massive snows.
We've already had our first like big snow, which is like was kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm more north now than I usually am.
Yeah,
Barely, but um,
barely.
I quote Riss on that one. Um, but it's near water, so like
Oh, you get to see the water freeze.
the water has an effect on like the precipitation around the area.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
therefore, there's more snow. And rain. It rains constantly. Like today, it started out raining. Then it was good, and then well, not good. It was cold, but it was not raining. And then what would you say it was doing? Sleeting?
You don't know what sleet is?
Well, I know what sleet is. I just want to make sure I wasn't saying something. Half snow, half rain, half sleet.
Dude, if it gets cold enough to where the water freezes, you should go out on the water and like
Oh yeah.
You should do it.
Yeah, I definitely should. The Wi-Fi here sucks anyway. Um, but anyway, enough about the weather. Um, I just wanted to bring that up real quick and make myself look dumb because I thought Virginia was really warm. Mainly because I've only been there in the summertime. I've never been
Oh,
there when it's cold.
it gets really warm. Like in the summer, like regularly, like in the peak of summer, it's like 90, 95, almost 100. It's like every day is stupidly hot. And it's humid. It's not like dry heat where you can handle it. It's humid, so you get sweaty like 5 minutes after being outside.
I hate that. I don't like being outside and getting in.
I'm telling you, like if it's over 90 degrees, the only time I want to be outside is if I'm in a pool.
Makes sense. But okay, so I think we should talk about this because interesting thing.
Okay.
Big thing. Back in action is the CDL on Friday,
Yep, CDL's
right?
coming back, baby. All the
You want
game
to?
crashes included.
Oh yeah. Um, do you wanna do a couple? You wanna do some predictions?
I mean, the the first matches are Friday. Um, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday as usual. That should be how the majors work too, but they don't do that. They only do that for the league matches. I looked at the power rankings. Where are the power? I would love to see the power rankings because there were some surprising ones from people that I've seen. Um, I think CDL Intel did them. I want to see if I can find them. But if we look at the schedule, like on Friday, um, it's Breach versus Phase, Optic versus Rocker, Legion versus Thieves, and Gorillas versus Surge. So I think all of those games will be good. I think we will see some really good games. Oh, I just found this. CDL Major 1 qualifying number 1 seed odds. Um Optic Texas is at the top. They have the highest odds of getting number 1 seed. And then the top rounding out the top 5 is FaZe, Thieves, Ultra, and Surge. That's pretty standard, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, after especially coming off like um last year, like LA Thieves, you know, they're riding that high of
Hey, they're
being
still
champs.
good. They've been performing well in
What?
scrims from what I've heard. They've been playing well.
Um,
I
yeah.
will say though, one surprise, they're a little bit lower in these seeding rankings, but they actually like I saw in the CDL Intel power rankings, they were 5th. Las
Oh,
Vegas Legion.
what?
They have been performing abnormally well
Maybe the name
for a
change
Paris
was.
Legion team.
Maybe the name change
They
is what they needed. You know.
well, they have a good roster this year too. I mean, they're cooking, I
Didn't
think.
they
I think
drop?
they're
Didn't
pretty
they
good
drop like every single person that was on their roster?
except for Temp.
Imp. And I
That's
don't
why
like that
everybody was
man.
saying free Temp.
Hmm.
Yeah, but like they have a good team now. I mean, Clay's on the team. I'm sure he's helping them a
Oh,
lot.
okay, okay.
Um,
Oh,
they're
definitely.
playing well from what I've seen. Like I've heard a lot of people say that they are surprisingly good this year. Like I've heard that they're looking like a top 6 team at the very least. Like they have I've heard good things about them. Um, one of the things that we should like talk about that's happened within the last couple weeks because they only started dropping them recently. Almost every CDL team has dropped their official jerseys for this season.
Ooh, are they looking clean and fresh?
Some of them, this is the thing. Some of them are amazing. Some of them are like way better than I expected,
Uh-huh.
and some of them are like kind of
Meh.
underwhelming. Like
Yeah.
for example, like Breach and Thieves, I thought would be 2 teams that had really good jerseys, and they're both like kind of bad. But like one of the teams that I expected to have a good jersey, but I didn't expect them to steal the show like they did was Mutineers. The Mutineers jersey so far, I mean, granted, we haven't seen Vegas or Optics jerseys yet, but the Mutineers jerseys, oh my goodness. I'm tempted to buy one just because it's so good. Like
Dude, I like New York's jersey. Sorry, I'm just looking through all them right now.
Dude, you have to look at
Mutineers
the
is good.
Mutineers jersey. Oh my
Oh yeah,
lord.
that's nice. I like the
That is the best jersey
yeah.
that I've seen.
I feel like
I kinda like Ultra's jersey too.
100 Thieves is definitely like underwhelming. Like you would expect
Oh,
more.
this is the thing is like I saw this a couple days ago. Nate Shot talked about that on stream. He said he knows that it's not great,
Wait, where's
but
the
they didn't
Optic
have.
Texas
He
jersey?
said they didn't have enough time.
Where's the
Oh, the
Optic
Optic
Texas?
jerseys have not been revealed yet.
Oh,
Optic and Legion are the only two teams that have not revealed jerseys yet.
because I know Optic's gonna go.
Oh, I expect them to have one of the best jerseys.
You know what I find?
I expect them to like kind of go. It's either I said this yesterday.
Mhm.
I think that Optics jersey is either going to be pretty simplistic, but it's going to be really good because
Mhm.
Optic knows how to do that really well.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be like over the top crazy, like Hex is going to throw some graffiti in there or something.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's going to be wild.
It's
It's
gonna
going
be
to be
one of
one
the
of the
two.
two.
Yeah, there's no in between. Can someone answer me this? Why are the jerseys more than the game itself?
What do you mean?
Like the jerseys? Jerseys are $80, not including tax.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they were like close to that number last year. They might have been lower, but they're probably such high price because the teams have customized them themselves.
It's true, but like
Um,
that's so much. That's so like that's more than the game itself. Like I don't know. I mean, pop off, make the money, but
well,
still.
this is the thing is yesterday the CDL team packs got put in the game, which
Mhm.
are like the generic like CDL version of the jerseys
Yeah.
and like the weapon blueprint, the camo and the calling cards and the emblems and all that. But that there was a rumor in the past, like before the game came out, that the CDL teams would be allowed to make their own weapon blueprints. And I actually thought of something that could be really good for the CDL in this
Mm.
game. Um, Obviously, like with weapon blueprints and this idea, it would cost more than the $9.99 that it would cost to buy the CDL team pack. But I thought, what if they're allowed to make their own weapon blueprints? What if they also had an operator skin that was the official CDL team jerseys, like not the generic one they made, but the actual jerseys that the players are
Ooh.
wearing?
I think that'd be awesome because it'd be like you'd be playing as the. I like that. I like that a lot.
Well, and like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I feel like Optic kind of leans into some idea like that because in their CDL team pack announcement yesterday, they said, "Stay tuned for what's to come. Trust." So, I mean, we'll see, but I don't know. Like, it sounds like they're leaning into something there. Um, I mean, obviously, we have no confirmation right now on if the CDL teams are actually going to be allowed to make their own blueprints, but that was a leak that happened a while ago.
Honestly, I think they have so much potential. You know, they have so much potential in like
Oh,
how they could be.
that's the thing that I like about what they've been doing with CDL this year is they have been kind of like on the ball about everything basically except the game. Uh, I mean the CDL's allowing the CDL starting earlier. They're allowing their teams to make their own jerseys. If if that leak is true that they'll be allowed to make their own weapon blueprints, that'll be lit. That might be the thing that we've been looking for this whole time, where it's better than the camo.
Mhm.
Um, Although I think the camos are pretty good this year. Obviously, like the base camo is kind of like still meh, but I really like that now. With the way the camo coverage works this year, that they've allowed like all the attachments that you put on it will have a solid color on them instead of them just being black or like making the camo look worse. But um,
For
I
sure.
don't know. It seems like Seems like they're stepping in the right direction everywhere except for the game.
I don't know. I still have yet to play.
Yeah, I mean, truly, like I feel like this game has gotten better. I
Mm.
don't think in a lot of like obviously they have fixed some stuff. They need to fix a lot more stuff, but I think the game has gotten better. Um, I'm enjoying playing it. I mean,
Well, that's all that matters as
if we
long
look at
as.
like the camo grind, like the camo, if we look at the camo grind, like I just a couple days ago got. I currently have all the ARs and SMGs done. I mean, there's one AR that's coming, but I have all of them done so far, and I'm working on snipers now. I wanted to snipe because every time I picked up somebody's sniper in this game, I've went off with it because sniping is great in this game. But
I am just itching to play. And you know me and
you gotta play
snipers.
it.
I know you know me and snipers.
Yeah,
We get along pretty well.
I'm telling you, sniping's really good in this game. I hope they don't do anything to the snipers. They haven't done anything yet. I thought they would. I thought they would do something crazy with them in the first season patch. I thought maybe there would be some drastic changes, but there were not. They didn't do anything to them. Well, they nerfed the SPR, but that's about it. They didn't do much to the SPR, which was nice, but I don't know. I just like I said, like I'm still enjoying the game, and I think that we are past the honeymoon phase by now, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be another one once what's it called? Christmas comes around. There'll be another honeymoon phase
Well, there'll be
of
one before Christmas because season 1 Reloaded comes out December 14th, and that's
Ooh.
when we're supposed to get raids and stuff like that, and we're getting shipment that day and all that. So
Ooh.
yeah, around Christmas we'll have a little bit more content, but one of the
Good.
things that I was gonna say for not only for the sake of the podcast because I learned it, but because I know you're probably gonna go for the camos, um, is actually the way that they have the camos structured this year. You're gonna be able to bypass certain weapon like classes if you really don't want to do them to get Orion because with whenever the Chimera AR comes out, there's gonna be 4 new weapons since season 1 dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And since the challenge for Polyatomic and Orion is to do 51 guns and not all classes specifically, and only to do 51 guns, since there's 4 new guns, you don't even have to do rocket launchers now.
My.
You don't even have to do rocket launchers. And I'm assuming they're going to add more weapons like when season 2 comes out. And if they add 2 more weapons when season 2 comes out, then you don't have to do the knife and the riot shield and so on. Like it'll basically make it to where like you can skip all the stuff you don't want to do and still have the camo, and all the stuff you don't want to do can just be a bonus, so you don't have to be as stressed about it.
Yeah, I like that aspect though. Is you kind of like you can kind of pick and choose. It gets rid of those the pain in the ass guns that you spend 16 hours grinding
Well,
and
that's what
grinding.
I mean about the rocket launchers. Like I have already gotten 2 out of the 4 DLC guns gold,
Nice.
so I will have. I'm gonna do the other 2 before I get to rocket launchers. So then, when I do rocket launchers, I already have the mastery camo. So I'm just gonna do them for fun, and it's just gonna be at my own pace. I'm not gonna be like, oh god, I have to do these to get the mastery camos.
You're big chill on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be chilling. I'm gonna be chilling on the camos. And honestly, like I'm not like trying to do the camos at like a breakneck pace. Like I'm kind of just like I'm kind of playing Warzone and stuff while also doing camos. So if I had to guess, I still probably won't be done with the camo grind by the time season 2 comes out. So if they add 2 more guns, then I just won't have to do the knife and the riot shield, and I can add that to the list of the bonus guns that I don't have to be stressed about.
Oh, well, like, is like Warzone like a good way of leveling guns? Because I know, in some sort of aspect, it is for like previous CODs, but like in this one, like if I wanted to, if I started playing Warzone right before I got the game, and I was leveling guns, would it be more efficient to level in Warzone or just level as you go type thing?
Right now, there's actually a camo grinding, well, not a camo grinding, but a level grinding method for Warzone.
Okay.
Um, it's actually a little bit of a cheese. If you get a whole bunch of money and you make sure you have the gun you want to level in your hand, you get a whole bunch of money. You go to a buy station and just buy armor plates until you can't buy anymore. It gives you weapon XP every time you buy armor plates. I've seen people like level 2 guns from 1 to max in one game by doing that. They just get a whole bunch of money and just go buy armor plates.
Oh my
And they get like I've heard people get like 100k weapon XP for doing that.
crap! Maybe I need to start playing. Oh my goodness. It's a glitch right now, right? Though, like, are they gonna fix it or?
I mean technically it's a glitch, but at the same time, like basically this year they've made it to where if you do anything, you get weapon XP. Like I've been streamlining my level grinding by like throwing decoy grenades because every time an enemy gets killed while your decoy grenade is near them, it counts as a decoy distraction, then that gives you weapon XP. Like
Mhm.
if you are running with a gun, you have your right shield on your back, and somebody's shooting you in the back, you know the XP that you get for that. If they shoot you in the back, that counts as weapon XP. Um, Playing kill confirmed is really good for weapon XP because every time you get tags, it counts.
Mhm.
Like basically everything you do in this game counts toward weapon XP. So the it makes the level grind faster than it already is compared to the last couple games.
All right. So keeping in with like the Warzone 2, I don't know if you've probably seen this, but Nate Shuck got really upset on the stream the other day. There's
Oh yeah, I saw that
Whiny
clip
little
last
bitch about a
night.
video.
So I think I'm just gonna play it real quick so the people listening that don't know can like hear it. Um, Deception. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it, but you've already watched it, so.
Dumbass fucking
Yeah, I've already
game, bro.
watched
You
it.
sit here for fucking 9 hours trying to do this shit. We get to the 5th fucking game and my shit crashes on a fucking state-of-the-art PC 3090 I fucking 9 maxed out, specced out, 5 grand on this fucking thing for this dumbass fucking game to crash. Jesus Christ, I just spent my whole day trying to get this goddamn thing. I mean, I know I sound like a whiny little bitch about a video game, but Jesus Christ. Fix your fucking shit. You just made $1 billion. And you've done it every year. Every fucking year. You have made $1 billion plus from this game. And I can't even fucking play it. Holy shit.
Yeah, so he really like yelled. Like you could see like his face turning red. It's like the oh shit, dad's mad at me type
Yeah.
vibe that he's giving off. I mean, he
Yeah.
said he like tweeted about it and he was just like, yeah, I kind of like lost my cool and like he said on some real shit, I lost my cool here. This ain't a PR tweet. Nobody messaged me to backtrack, nothing like that. Watching this back out of context of the moment is embarrassing for me. Warzone 2 is a lot of fun. I really do love the game, and this makes me sound ungrateful. And yeah, he like tweeted about it a few times. So.
Yeah, so my whole stance on that is kind of like he has a point when he was talking about how he knows he was crying because it was just a video game, and that's true. Like at the
Mhm.
end of the day, it's just a video game, but it's like
I mean, this game is
Anybody
just
that wants, well, that's the thing is like anybody who wants to enjoy this game is having a hard time enjoying it on PCs and on consoles that are way less powerful than his. So like you look at like if he's having problems with his PC as powerful as it is, look at what everybody else is dealing
yeah, like
with, and look at how widespread the problem is. It's like yes, it's just a video game, but it's like they do this every year. Like he said, like they make billions of dollars every year
you think they could
selling
check?
broken games at launch
Yeah,
and
you
all that.
really think
And
they
it's
could fix
like
this?
there's also the there's also the point that it's like, oh yeah, like they do this, but like you keep feeding into it every year, and it's just like we just want to play a good game, and it's like we still play through like the bugs and stuff because we love the game. So like yeah, like it's probably not the greatest idea to spend a whole bunch of money on the game every year because it's just gonna keep being broken. But it's like you know like people love the game, and it's like if you love the game, then you're still gonna play it. Um, but that's the thing is like when when we talk about like how broken the game is, and we joke about how the game is broken and you can't play it, and like the CDL is gonna come with game crashes included and all that. It's just like raising awareness for how broken the game is and that we want it fixed. Um,
That's all we want. That's all. That's all. That's all. We just want to play a good COD. That's it.
yeah, it's like the game itself when it's working and when it's playing well, it's actually enjoyable. Like I think it's fun. It's just like you have to get past the game crashes and the frame drops and like the fact that I'm running on a PC that's not too far off from what Nade Shot's running, and I feel like I can like barely play the game at the way I'm supposed to play it. Like I feel like COD is so like intensive on PCs. I feel like for no reason.
Mm.
Like there are other games that are more graphically intensive than COD that like play better. Um, and it's just like I don't. I that's a lot of stuff that truthfully like I don't think a lot of us understand. Um, but like there just has to be optimizations made because they did that over time with Warzone and over the time that the game's cycles happened over the last 3 years. And by the time Warzone was coming to an end, it played really well. There were no issues most of the time. And like as far as actual gameplay, it was really fun. I just like it's just frustrating that it takes them this long to fix these things. Um like I've joked around about it and I've said it before. Like I hear people talking about is this game ever going to be fixed or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, it's probably going to be fine in like 9 months, and then they're going to drop that $70 expansion, and then it's going to break the game again. Because in all reality, that could be what's going to happen.
It's true. It is true. Alrighty. I don't know. I feel like we talk about this every year, though. Like, I mean,
Well, and that's the thing is
talked
we
about it
do, and
last
it's
year.
like that's why I really like that's why I really hope that this Microsoft acquisition of COD goes through. There's
Mm-hmm.
been a lot of like hurdles they've been going through. There's been some like backlash from Sony and people like that probably being greedy about it. Um and like there's been extra investigations going on about it, but it looks like there's still a good possibility that it'll go through. Um I don't think we'll see net changes as soon as that happens if it happens, but I do think that over time Microsoft will make this game better. I really hope that the that whole acquisition goes through.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping. I'm praying. Um, what else going on in the gaming world? Oh, you know what a video I watched today while I was waiting for you to do the podcast? I saw the new hex quarters upgrade. I think I don't think he knows if he wants to make it the hex quarters or not. But the office, did you see that hex vlog?
I have not seen it yet.
It's really good. Like, they've got practice rooms for all the teams. Really nice practice rooms, actually. It's very it's kind of like the compound for 100 Thieves, but a little more, not as large. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, which makes sense for Hex because he wants to have a really nice space, but he doesn't want it to be so big that it doesn't feel like they're
Yeah,
like sort of a family anymore.
yeah. They have
I
like
feel like the Hex quarters, like in the beginning, was that kind of perfect space, but now they're getting a little bit too big for the Hex
yeah.
quarters now.
They I think he said they have like a year left on their lease, so he's trying to decide if he wants to keep it and or transfer everything over to this new building, which is really cool. It's right across from, I think, the basketball stadium. I don't remember which one, but it's really nice.
I'll have to watch it.
It's really nice. It's got like, place for the Dallas Fuel, place for the Halo team, Valorant team, COD team.
That speaking of the Dallas Fuel, that's one thing that I really hope that Optic starts leaning into is the Overwatch side of things. Like,
I don't know if they can.
because
I don't know if they
personally,
can. I don't know if they can though. Like, I don't think they can get another team. I think they just got to stick with the Dallas Fuel.
I mean, like content wise, they don't
Oh
really do
yeah,
anything with those guys.
that's true.
Like I have been getting more into Overwatch, and I think that's why I'm more interested in it now. But like
Hmm.
Optic, outside of the beginning when they had the Houston Outlaws, whenever they were controlled by Infinite and all that, like they were kind of into the Overwatch like content wise because they included them in
Hmm.
stuff. But like they don't do anything with the Dallas Fuel, and I don't know if that's I don't know if that's specific. Like maybe the Dallas Fuel people just don't know anything about Optic at this point, and they just haven't been involved or what. But I really wish that like since they put the Halo team in the process, and since they put the League of Legends team, which they had that a long time ago, and they have the Rocket League team that they're starting to include in
Oh
everything. They've
yeah,
really done a good job of including them. Like they don't have a Valorant team anymore, but they put them in the process a bunch, and those were good. I just really hope that they start including the Overwatch team because I think it would be really cool to see them in the process and see them hanging out at the hex quarters. And maybe that's their plan. Maybe that's their plan with this whole like new hex quarters type thing. But I would love to see that because I feel like the one group of people in this whole new Optic brand that have kind of been like lost is the Dallas Fuel.
yeah.
Um,
And plus,
when you look at Optic specifically, you just
uh
don't hear anything
well, the thing is they're the
about them.
Overwatch League champions for 2022. Like, you would think that would be
Yeah, they were like
something epic,
that's the only time I've ever seen Optic talk about them is they talked about that when they won. But yeah, I mean the Dallas Fuel are like really good. Like they are adding to the Optic dynasty essentially because they were the best team in the Overwatch League the whole year and won the championship pretty easily. I mean, they were like miles ahead of everybody else.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if they really leaned into it and kind of uh included everyone really into the content aspect, and not, I mean, I understand why they do moons mostly like the COD guys, just because like that's their big thing, but like,
Optic and COD is always going to be the
yeah,
biggest
it's
thing.
always going to be bread and butter, we all know that, but like, you can always add a little bit more to the sandwich.
Yeah, I really well that's the thing. Like I don't know if you saw it, but I really like that they did that whole Optic winter retreat thing. That's going to be really cool to see. They brought everybody out there for that.
Yep.
I know they're doing a big stream for that soon, which is going to be really cool to watch. Um, but yeah, like I really hope that like whether it's with this a new hex quarters or just a whole revamp in 2023, I hope they start including everybody because every time that other people who haven't really been included in Optic before, like every time you see people like Bobby Poff show up, anytime the Optic girls are there, like now, like I know
Bless you.
that like the other two, like the other three people on the Rocket League team, haven't really been included a whole lot. But like they've brought like I don't know if I think Hex has really gotten close to Reddles because Reddles has been involved in so much content. Like he's really like involved now.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like a. This is just a theory. This is no shade, not towards anyone. I just want to like preface that. But I think it's partially like since Optic and Call of Duty and like Scump and Dashy, like they're like staple names, and that's where they get most of their views from, right? Part of it
Yeah.
may be like they don't want to like stray from that out of fear of losing something, you know. Because it's been going,
It could be
it's
true.
one of those like if it's not broken, don't fix it type things. But like,
Well, and I know it was the same thing with like Hitch talked about this before. It was kind of the same deal with like when Infinite was taken over. When Infinite took over and started doing Optic trivias, they started trying to separate Flame Sword and Bows um because they thought that everybody was laughing at them because they were stupid. But in reality, they kept putting Mike and Bose together because they were by far the best part of Optic Trivia. And so
yeah.
when Mike and Bose were separated, the Optic Trivia views went down and they were like, "Why are the views going down?" And like Hitch was like, "Dude, you have to put Mike and Bose together."
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things though. It's like they have so much, but I don't think Hex realizes how much potential he has. I think he might actually. I think he does realize how much potential he has underneath his belt at the moment. It's just
Yeah,
like
he does.
what to do with it is I think where they're or if, they
And he's
might even know.
probably
They
he's
might
probably
even know.
working with them on it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing about this Optic Envy merger is like they have so much resources. They have so much to work with. Like they have they have like all of Envy's stuff. They have a really good investment team. Like they have super good resources for everything. And I think Hex is just now scratching the surface of the potential that they have for all of this.
Yeah. The thing is here's my opinion again. It's just the thing is like he needs to jump on it sooner rather than later because you have 100 Thieves out there making moves, making strides. They literally have a Hall of Fame that they just came out with. We talked about it last podcast, and
Yeah,
like
the Hall of Fame's crazy.
I want to say like FaZe is up there too, but I feel like as much as FaZe is on the rise, it's not as much on the rise because of like innovation. It's more of just like, oh, it's FaZe, you know.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
and the thing is like FaZe isn't like like genuine people either. Like it's really just like a fraternity with like it's literally just a glorified fraternity. And I can say this now
Yeah,
because I've been around
it's like
people that are in
all of the
fraternities,
big
but
phase members don't like they participate obviously in the org, but they don't do the core things that phase has always been known for anymore. Like they
yeah.
don't do a lot of content. They don't play COD that much. Like all of like the most genuine people that are in phase, like you look at like Jev and like Scope and those guys that
Mhm.
still do everything that's like core to phase, they're not involved that much in that stuff. And it's probably because they have probably chosen not to be a part of the whole fraternity type atmosphere.
Yeah, they kind of just have like
Um
the phase in front of their name and then kind of like show up when they're asked to be showed up. Like, oh, they show up when they're.
yeah.
It's just like a big name at this point. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm talking
I
about
mean
this.
phase are a big name. I
Yeah, like
mean,
I'm talking about this in like my business class right now. Is there certain
yeah.
companies that you associate to certain things? Like when you think of
Yeah.
tissues, you think of like Kleenex. Like, oh, I need a
Mhm.
Kleenex. And so when you think of
Yeah,
esports, you
literally
think of
nobody
phase.
says tissue. They just say
No,
Kleenex.
no, can I have a Kleenex? Like it's word
That's
association, brand
like with
association.
Band-Aid. Like
Yeah,
Band-Aid is not really like
I don't even know.
they
I don't even know what the real word for Band-Aid is.
technically it's just called a bandage, but
I th-
like Band-Aid is so massive that you just call it a Band-Aid, no matter if it's
yeah,
actually a Band-Aid or
or
not.
not. If it's Band-Aid brand or not, you're gonna call it a Band-Aid. But like I think that's kind of how it is with FaZe. It's just because FaZe has been around for so long, they've been such a prominent name for so long that it's just like, oh, okay, FaZe, I know that they must be good. They must be like, a
Yeah.
good streamer because they're with FaZe, or
True.
or
Yeah.
if they've made it into FaZe, they've got to be good type thing.
Well, you
Because
look at how many strides FaZe has made, because if we want to talk about something that literally just happened, or at least I just saw it yesterday, um, Apex made it in the Forbes 30 under 30.
yeah,
Like,
and
that's
that's like
huge.
the thing is like it is they're at that point where I think they're plateauing because they went so high so fast. Like once they started taking off, it was just exponential growth, exponential growth. But I feel like
Yeah.
recently, within the past like year or so, they've really
Yeah.
taken like a dark turn. But they're still going up because all that growth is still catching up. They went so far so
Yeah, they're
fast.
still going up because all they really can do is go up.
Yeah, like the thing is all that hard work that they put in and all the growth and all the good stuff that they put out is still like it's still catching up. Like not all the
Yeah.
rewards have been reaped, you know. So that's why
Yeah.
they're still growing, but there's gonna hit a point where like everyone's just like, all right, cool, what's next? And they're not gonna have a what's next. And the thing is I don't think a lot of people realize this, but like our population of humans is evolving, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Within the next few years, this fraternity lifestyle that they, put out won't be as popular as it once was. Cause like personally speaking, I don't watch FaZe stuff because I like FaZe. I watch FaZe stuff to be in the know because FaZe is such a big organization.
The only phase stuff that I watch is from people that I actually like that are in
Yeah.
phase. Like I really like Scope. I've always liked Jiv.
Yeah.
Um, I like
But I'm talking
I
like
like
they're them as like a whole, like their YouTube
yeah,
channel, their Twitter and stuff like that. Like it's only when I'm like, oh, interesting. But it's not
yeah,
like, oh my god, new face video just dropped. Let me get in there and watch that shit. No, that's
yeah.
not this. And I feel like it's gonna catch up with them more and more and more. And I hate to say that, but yo, what's up, Kichi? Thank you so much for the bits. What's good? What's good? And but like it's just there's a lot of stuff going on with them right now, and it's not. It personally speaking, especially after like now, I literally have been here for less than a semester, and I have such a big. I feel like I know everything, but I don't. I know I don't know
Let's
everything.
go.
But like from like the business aspect, it's like there are these collaborations that they're doing. It keeps them relevant. Like they just
Yeah,
did a Naruto merch drop. I freaking love Naruto. And then mixed with like gaming, it's not the oh, it's phase. It's oh, they're gaming, and my favorite
yeah.
TV show, like my favorite anime, or my favorite childhood TV show, or oh, that's my favorite sport that they just collaborated with.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like they're one of the only people that really does stuff like a lot with like sports outside of anything gaming related. I mean,
Yeah.
they have well, they do a lot of stuff because like you look at like Lil Yachty is a phase member.
Yep.
Snoop Dogg is like kind of high up in phase. I mean, he's
Mhm.
like on the board of directors or something.
Something like
And
that.
like he's invested a lot. You got NFL players like Kyler Murray. Um, and like that's huge. Like, but the thing is like it's like how involved are they actually with FaZe, or did they just put the name out there
Yeah.
and like
Is it more of
get
like
money?
is it more of like a community, or is it more of like a title situation?
Yeah, and that's the weird thing. That's why I say about FaZe, it's like there's so many FaZe members.
Oh
Like
yeah.
getting in FaZe is obviously a huge accomplishment, and it will boost you. But it's like, is it genuine though?
Yeah. The
It's
amount of
like,
times the amount of times people will unfollow people that leave phase just because of the fact that they left.
yeah,
Like it's one of
yeah.
those.
That's the thing is like, if one of these people that literally just got recruited in phase 5 or something left, then they would lose
They would lose
so
it.
many followers.
So I
They would
mean,
lose.
people would stay
They would probably
obviously, but
lose. They would probably lose like half of their following
yeah, I mean,
that
people
they
would.
got from phase.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, is like it's the brand association that really like drives it
Yeah.
home for phase. Is you slap phase on something and people are like, yeah, cool, I'll go watch that, and then you take that off of it and they're like, nah, I'm good. It
There are
doesn't really.
people. There are people though. If they left phase, that they probably wouldn't see that much of an effect.
Well, yeah,
Like I
like
know if Jev left phase, I don't know if any. I don't know if he would see any effect because I don't think. I think a lot of people don't even fully realize that Jev is still in phase. Like he doesn't really talk about it that much.
it really wouldn't change his
Like
content at all.
he would. I don't think he would see much of an effect at all from if he left.
Yeah. So that's just my personal viewpoints on that. And I feel like if they want to, right now they're kind of just like riding this high, but like
Yeah.
organizations like 100 Thieves, they're catching up. They're catching up real fast.
Oh, 100
And they're
Thieves. 100 Thieves is huge. I
and
mean, they have like them and Optic, I think, are the two like prime examples of organizations that are gonna last through all of this stuff. That like when we get past the whole fraternity culture, like 100 Thieves and Optic are still just gonna be
oh
surging to
yeah.
the top.
Well, because right now accountability is really like people are holding people accountable. And there's something that I saw about a face member the other day. I'm not gonna talk about it on here because I don't want to.
Oh, I saw it.
You know what I'm talking about.
I
If you know,
saw it.
you know. That like just kind of like adds to that is like,
Yeah.
is it just the one phase member? Is it, you know, like
There's been a
what's the
lot
deal?
of there's been a lot of stuff that's happened with phase members in the last like year or two that
Yeah. So like,
really I think have made a lot of people question
mm-hmm.
like phase's integrity.
Yeah, because it's like if you're gonna have this many people in your organization like this, and only kick them out when it comes public. Take the Try Guys for example. When I brought that up, they were already in the works
Yeah.
of when they found out personally, like not even before it went public, they were already trying to like work to get them out. And the only reason why it took so long was because they were part of an LLC, and it's really, really difficult to get. Once you form an LLC, it's really, really difficult to like leave one. Like if you're a partner in an LLC, it's really hard to leave an LLC, and it's really hard to get into one. So, it's a lengthy process with lots of lawyers stuff and whatever. Learned about that in school too. I'm just knowledgeable now on the business front. I just want to share my knowledge in the gaming world. I'm applying it.
Yeah.
But like, it's accountability is gonna be there, and someone's gonna be like, yeah, so this is what happened. Phase X, this, and yeah, and they have to be held accountable, because if they don't, then it's gonna reflect poorly on the organization. And it's at a certain point, it's like, okay, how many people in your organization are gonna have these things come out before you say something?
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's been everything from inside stuff to outside stuff. I mean,
yeah.
if you want to look at stuff that's even happened inside like phase that's not like, obviously like the whole crypto stuff that happened and all that,
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of stuff that made phase kind of look like a shady org, even in the way that they went about business, because there was that. I think a lot of people have forgotten about it by now, but there was the whole like Tifu situation with phase with his contract
Yep.
and stuff. Like that was huge
Oh
when that
yeah.
happened. That raised a lot of questions about esports contracts, and that I think that made a lot of people in esports think more about their contracts and what they think they're worth.
Yep. And yeah, I understand, like, esports is still new. There's still a lot of like navigational fronts, but if you once you get to a certain point in growth and development. At the end of the day, it is a business, and it has to be treated like a business. And the business world is
Yeah.
evolving, and you have to evolve with it. And
Yeah.
the esports world is evolving as well. Like right now, like a good one of my courses, it's like the basics of business, essentially, called society and business. And it's pretty much just like the like basic stuff. What's this? What's that? What, you know? And then we have like a whole like textbook that we do on our own about like diversity, inclusion, and equity in organizations. Like, because that's where we're moving towards. And that's where, I mean, that's where we should be. Don't get me wrong, but that's where we're moving towards. And esports orgs, you know, I know Call of Duty is a very misogynistic, phobia-ridden environment.
Oh,
But
it's bad. The
but
stuff that I've heard in COD lobbies thanks to proximity chat and
yeah,
stuff in Warzone.
it,
Oh my
I
god.
feel like that's the best way that I can put it. But with the way that the business world is moving, esports has to keep up. We're already trying to prove ourselves as
Yeah.
being a legitimate thing. So yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, like the way that esports, I thought about this because I heard Hex talk about this,
Mm-hmm.
and it really kind of like it really hit me when he said it. He was talking about formal going from COD to Halo back, like and all that. And when in the process episode when we talked about that, all he said was when he was talking about formal going from Halo to COD to Halo, he said sports. He didn't say esports. So it's like, what if we eventually get to the point where esports just becomes sports, where it's just included?
Yep.
Like there isn't esports anymore. It's
It's just
just
sports.
you can watch you can watch the NFL and the NBA, but that's the same as watching COD and Valorant.
Mm-hmm. Like CDL, OWL, you know, stuff like that. So I don't know. I feel like, you know, there's a lot of steps that we as a community need to make in order to get to that point. And I feel like actually recognizing esports orgs as actual organizations and businesses and treating it as such. It's a much easier industry to get into than
Yeah.
a lot of these other bigger businesses.
Yeah, but that can also mean it's an easier industry to exploit.
Yeah. So
Because you have stuff like what's been going on with the COD League and how badly some organizations have been handling
yep.
some of that stuff.
So I don't know. It's just one of those things we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know. Anything else you want to chat on for a couple more minutes, Deception, or that just about wraps it?
I don't know. I think we just about covered everything.
Yeah.
I mean, CDL starts Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how long it's going to take to get through all their matches because, like, even Wyatt, who's playing in the league, like I was watching his stream last night, and it took him like an hour just to get through 2 maps. So I don't know how many delays we're gonna have in the
Ooh.
CDL this weekend, but we'll see.
Nice.
But I'm excited for the CDL. I'm excited for the future of this game. Um, and I hope that everything goes well because CDL starting early is huge. So we'll see.
Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you guys. I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. You know, ate lots of food, spent good time with family or even chosen family. Yeah. See you guys next time. Oh, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share, like. I already said that. Do all the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys next time. Peace. Should say bye.
Bye.